This video we're going to look at two things. One, the amplitude or the vertical stretch of the graph on the principal axis, and also the vertical shift. So we've got vertical stretch and vertical shift. So the first thing is we have a sine graph here. I've got a red one hidden underneath this blue one, and that's the normal sine graph, and the blue one is a sine x plus d. And I'm going to play around with this a and work out what's happening to the thing called the amplitude. Now at the moment, the highest point, and we're looking at the y numbers here, is 1, and the lowest point is -1. The difference between those two is 2, 1 and -1. I am saying that the amplitude is 1. The amplitude is the measure from the top of the graph or the bottom of the graph to the thing called the principal axis. Now the principal axis is this line here that I've just drawn on there, y equals 0, which cuts it in the middle, if you like. So we've got an amplitude of 1 at the moment. So I'm going to change this and make the blue graph 2. So we're basically doing a vertical stretch. Now the principal axis is still 0. The highest point is 2 and the lowest point is -2. So we're now saying the difference is 4. The amplitude is 2 and the a number is 2. If I make a 3, it now gives me the amplitude of 3 and the principal axis still here in the middle. So the a value is giving me the amplitude. It's giving me the vertical stretch. Now if I just add or take away d, it's just going to shift the graph up by however many units I do. So now let's look at this one. I've got 4 as the highest and -2 as the lowest. Between 4 and -2 is 6. Half of 6 is 3. The amplitude is 3. Even though it goes as high as 4 and down to -2, the amplitude is 3. And my principal axis is now 1. So the principal axis is where it cuts it in half. So let's go down a bit more and let's just change a couple of these numbers and let's make this 4. That fit on the graph? Yes, it will. Now, the highest point for the blue is now 2 and the lowest point is -6. So 8 is the difference. 4 is the amplitude, and the principal axis needs to go at -2, so that sits halfway between the top and the bottom. So we can see here what we've done is we multiplied by 4, which would normally take us up to 4, and then we dragged it down 2 units with the d. So how would we answer a question where we were only given certain information? So here's our curve, and what I do know is the highest point is 5, the lowest point is -1, so the difference is 6. Half 6 you get 3, so I know that I could put my principal axis at 2 because that's halfway between 5 and -1, and that's 3, so the a value is 3. So let's make a little note here, a equals 3. Now if I made a 3, I would have multiplied my original curve. So if I go back to my original curve, which is the red one, starts at 1. If I multiply it by 3, it would take me up to 3. So this one's been multiplied by 3 and it's been taken up to 3. And then I've added on an extra 2. So does that make sense with the bottom? If I multiply this by 3, it will take me to -3. And I add on the 2 to take me to -1.